what things
Yeah.
in retrospect do you feel like you should have done or could have done to avoid being in the situation that you're in right now?
Okay, so I'm glad you asked me that question. I'm glad you asked it that way, because let me tell you, this is kind of a blessing in disguise. It's a blessing like getting a broken leg and then they x-ray your leg and see that you have cancer of the leg.
Right.
Like, it hurts bad, but it turns around and makes you see that, oh shit, you were in the problem. Because what happens is, okay, now I'll start. I am of the firm belief, that the collapse, or at least the demise of any relationship where, you know, a woman loses enough attraction to you to want to leave, which is the end of a relationship, is always the man's fault. Whenever the relationship gets down to that point where she wants to be with somebody else or not be with you at all, which it means want to be with somebody else, that's the man's fault. A man typically has almost all the power in a relationship to steer it the way he needs to steer it. And if you crash into too many icebergs, nobody can be blamed but the captain of the ship. Not the first mate or whatever. The captain has to be blamed.
Yep.
So for sure, the demise of my relationship, which was an extensive 14-year relationship, was my own fault. Now, what I call the demise of it, and just to be transparent, the nefarious activity she was engaging in was sexting. She was actually sexting on a video game. I don't even want to go into it. But once you find that out, that's at my enlightened state right now, that is the clear end of the relationship. At that point, that's when the relationship is over.
Okay.
But the reason why I say it's like breaking your leg and finding cancer is because it exposes you only know the true nature of women in relationships when the relationship is either imminently or at its end.